welcome to the Deep Thinking Podcast. I'm Evelyn, your host at Evelyn J. Ortega on Instagram. And today I had a revelation and I just had to share it with you guys. So, being my age, I am currently, I just turned 24 like a few days ago. So happy birthday to me. But besides that, within my 24 years of living, I came to the realization of just today, while I was doing my run earlier, I realized that now it's pretty obvious, we spend most of our lives doing something. And that something might not necessarily be the things that you actually want to do. Like, for example, your day job. Ever since I got out of high school, I thought that I was going to be dead set into computer science. I thought I was going to finish and do my master's in computer science all the way through, doing about 5 years of schooling. But, I realized that computer science really wasn't for me. I'm not really a coding person. But what I have realized is that I do like analyzing data, and I like summarizing data, and I like consulting. And the only way for me to know that this is what I like and this is what I enjoy is by simply doing it. I would not have known that. Now, in the beginning, I was a little lost. I'm like, well, if I'm not going to do coding, then what else am I going to do? I didn't know. I was completely lost. And then at some point about last year in October, I found out about e-com selling. And so I started e-com selling. And from there, I just really, really liked it. For me, it doesn't matter if there's going to be risk. I want to know if this is something that I'm going to enjoy doing, and I can see a good ROI out of it. Now, for me, I've always wanted a good lifestyle. Like, I wanted to do something that I enjoy doing, because if not, it's going to be very, very hard for me to go to work and not enjoy what I'm doing. It's just going to be so miserable, and I'm not doing that. I've been there before. I've done that long enough. For me, hopping into jobs here and there, not really knowing what I'm really I thought I was studying and gonna do computer science, but then I realized that it's not really for me. So here I am. I had a bunch of random jobs that really didn't serve me, but I got some skills, right? But I realized I was way too dead set, way too focused on this coding thing, this computer science thing, and then I realized you don't really need to go to school. You don't have to go to college to get a degree. You don't have to get the degree to get the career that you want to get. You can just self-learn online nowadays. It's 2022. We have YouTube, we have articles, we have Google, we have community forums, we have all kinds of things. And especially if you want to go old school, you can obviously go get a textbook from the library for free. Like, you have so many resources. If you're really interested, you can just self-teach yourself and get the skills from there, because the only way to learn is by actually doing it, not by theory, not by the books. So back to what I was saying is, after having worked all these random jobs that I absolutely dreaded, it was just most of them were basic customer service kind of things, really doesn't require that much skill. And obviously from this year, from the past couple of months, I realized that I have way more worth. I can learn the skills that I want to learn, and I can get the career that I want. Like, I just have to learn the skills and just do it. I was wasting a lot of time picking up these mediocre jobs that anybody can get. But no, I realized that no, you have way more value. You're 24 years old. You have the world in your hands. You can learn anything you want. You have the brain power. You're young. You're healthy. You can pick up real quick. You can pick up skills real quick. You can learn fast. So from that realization, I realized I didn't really pass my coding class, and it's not the end of the world. There's so many other things to pick up on, and that they're doing really, really well. And for me, what was really attractive for me was the entrepreneurship journey of e-commerce, because you're on your own and you start off doing everything on your own until it picks up. And honestly, it's been an amazing journey. I've learned so much from the business sides of things. I made amazing connections so far, and I love how this is turning out. Maybe my business might not succeed, I don't know, but I love the process. I'm in love with this trial and error process. Like, I'm here for it. But I wouldn't have known that if I did not take the risk, if I didn't take the chance if I didn't go out there and explore and not be so dead set into computer science and coding. And about 2 months ago, I started habit tracking my life. I started adding in the habits that I want to incorporate in my life, like reading for 30 minutes a day, learning everything that I can to make the best of myself, make the best out of my life, live my life the best way that I can. And so I made that a priority in the morning. And then I added a whole bunch of other habits that I wanted to learn, like, for example, skating. I want to learn some hobbies. So like lately I've been getting really good at skating, just 15 minutes a day. You know, it also helps with time management, and I've done so much. I've like learned so much. I love it. I pretty much jam-packed my habit tracking schedule. I'll show you in a bit. Everything that, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll show you. You can see the habit tracker that I'm using and the habits that I've incorporated. But I've jam-packed everything that I want to learn in there, everything that I want to incorporate in my life, like, for example, balanced eating, running for 15 minutes, walking outside, drinking water, you know, a lot of basic things, but it's very, very necessary to live a very fulfilling life. So from doing that for so long and up until today, I realized that from me doing all these things all at once, a little bit every day, makes me realize what is it that I really like enjoying. It helps me reflect on my life. It helps me reflect on what is it that I really want to do. What is it that I really want to master? What is it that I want to dedicate my life in? Because I realize that the majority of your life, especially as a 24-year-old, you gotta make your own income, right? But from there you have to realize, well, if the majority of my day is going to be spent working on my income, well, what is it that I want to work on? I don't want to work some mediocre job. I don't want to do things that I don't really like doing. Like, if I continued with coding, my life would have been miserable. Of course, the pay would have been good, but my life would have been miserable. I don't want to feel miserable. For me, feeling happy and feeling fulfilled is very, very important, because it's very, very cliche, but you know, you just never know if you have tomorrow. It's true. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that because it's just so cliche. You know, everybody knows that, but it's true. You know, you have to realize that. You have to realize that maybe something might happen tomorrow. You never know. Just by doing all these little different things that I would think interest me, like, for example, skating and singing, trying it out. You know, I've never done it really before. I just wanted to see if I naturally pick it up, if I really enjoy skating, if I really enjoy, for example, now I realize I like analytics and I like business sides of things. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think these young years of like being 23, 24, it's really like, I think these years are like really exploratory. You don't really know what you really want to do, because it takes some time to realize if this is really what you like, because you know if you like it just by analyzing how you feel after you do it. So for example, I love singing. Every time I start singing, I just get into it. I can sing for 5 hours, 10 hours a day, dance all day. Like, I love doing that. And I wouldn't have known that if I don't try these things out, if I don't plan time for it. And it makes me feel more fulfilled because I'm doing the things that I enjoy doing. And so now I'm doing the same thing with my career. I'm like, well, I'm not doing coding, and I love the e-commerce, but e-commerce is not really going to take off until maybe 3 years from now to be able to support myself from it. So I do have to have some kind of income, and that income has to be something that I enjoy. So my suggestion to you is try out everything that you think will interest you, and just do it for a little bit, and then you'll soon realize if this is something that you actually enjoy doing or not. You'll find out right away, because it's like they say, it's like your calling. Like, it just calls to you. And if it's not really your calling, then it's just a hobby. And it should be effortless. You shouldn't have to force yourself to do something. It should just be effortless. Effortless means that you are doing something that's fulfilling. So that's what I would suggest. Now I'm thinking of getting into data and some like data analyzation. And so now what I'm doing is exploring that field, taking some free intro classes online, and seeing if this is for me. And if it's not, then I can find out in like 3 days and move on to the next thing and move on to the next thing. I think it's way faster than traditional 4-year college university, because honestly, here in America, in the USA, we have to go through 2 years of general courses, which doesn't really matter. But then your last 2 years is really like your more advanced courses, more of the courses that you need to take for what you're actually studying. So like computer science classes, coding classes. But that's just a huge 2 years. Like, that's a long time. If I had just jumped into exploring different things, like taking little intro classes here and there, like 1 week do one intro class, the next week do another intro class, maybe if I like it, then I keep doing it, and if I don't like it, then I can just drop it off. But in total, like let's say if I do an intro class for accounting, probably a week for that to finish. And then if I want to do coding, another week for that to finish. And then I'll soon find out if it's what I like or if I don't like it. But not when I'm already 2 years in, 3 years in, 4 years in. Why? Because I took these mediocre classes that really are not moving the needle in my life. And so all it does is like teaches you how to, like, I don't know, take notes, do your homework, pretty much. But I mean, those general classes, that's about it. And it's very expensive, guys. It's costly. There's a lot of time to it. I just don't think college was worth it to me anymore. And especially knowing what I just realized today, I'm like, no, you can just take an intro class. Like I said, take an intro class for something that you think you're interested in. Do it for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, but you're done. You'll find out by the end of that week or 2 weeks that if you like it or not. If you want more time, then you just dedicate some more time. But it's not going to take you 2 years, 4 years in this stupid degree that you don't even like. But yeah, those are just my 2 cents. And I just really wanted to get the word out there because I'm not sure if maybe other people might benefit from hearing this. Yeah, but that was just my biggest revelation today. I'm like, oh my God, like if I hadn't just made time and not planned time for the things that I think I'm interested in and then not try them, I would have just still been stuck wondering, why isn't my life this? Why isn't my life that? Well, no, I'm taking action. I'm exploring, I'm doing things, and I want to see what is it that I truly like and to go from there. And I think life is just really about exploring and seeing what you like and just really enjoying it. And I would suggest, if you think that you're interested in it, try it out. Plan time for it. Schedule it in your day. Plan at least 15 minutes. 15 minutes a day, guys. It's nothing. Like, really, it's so easy. Like, in the next 15 minutes, you can go ahead and try the thing that you're interested in or do something that you've always wanted to do. Just go and do it. And by the end of the night, guys, trust me, it is so fulfilling to put your head on the pillow and say, oh, yes, I did that, and I did that too. All because you made time for it. And so I would really recommend to go ahead and just try the things that you think you're interested in. If you don't like it, you'll soon realize it and just move on to the next thing. And then eventually you will find your purpose. And I think that's the point of life, you know, find your purpose, find fulfillment. And once you realize that, it's like not the end of the world if something fails. Like, you can just move on to the next thing, and just keep going. And I think that's what's helping me to stay positive, because I know there's so many other things out there, and you know, if one thing didn't work out for me, then I can just try the next thing. No big deal. It's not the end of the world. And the good thing about it is that you can say that, oh yeah, I tried that and I didn't like it. Oh yeah, I tried that too and I didn't like it. But I am trying this and I am liking it. So you just gotta open up those doors for yourself. From me realizing that, it just decreases my stress so much, because I've been stressing myself out, wondering why I can't get one thing. Once you do find that thing that you think is interesting, then dive deeper into it and start learning more and more and start dedicating more time to it. And from there, it just takes off, I think. Like for e-com, I dove really, really deep into it, and I've learned so much from it, and I'm loving it. And I'm going to keep going. And as well as my other endeavors that I'm interested in, I'm also going to try it out and see where it takes me. I think it's just really important to keep multiple interests open. And once you do find the one that you really, really like, then I think you should start honing in and start gaining those mastery skills. Start becoming an expert in it, because I think you are going to spend most of your time doing that one thing that you really like. So just like Albert Einstein, he dedicated his life to physics. And so I think most of our lives are going to be dedicated to a certain thing. We're going to become experts in something, masters in something, because we enjoy it. I would also suggest writing down your emotions and keeping track of your emotions, how you're feeling with certain events, certain people, and certain tasks that you're doing. That way you can see if this is something that's working out for you. And I think it's just better than just keeping mental notes. That's something I'm also trying to do. And so, yeah, I will keep you posted and see how life goes. So thank you so much for listening to the Deep Thinking Podcast. Until next time.